Hey guys, it's December 11th and Bitcoin price is recovering. It's hedging up to just under $98,000 and moving up. Right, I want to spend just a short discussion or explanation resulting from this infamous board meeting that took place at Microsoft yesterday. There was no surprise what was going to be the verdict from that, when the shareholders and the board met yesterday to discuss the prospect of adding Bitcoin in its corporate treasury reserve. Now, there's always this expectation, this rejection to come out, right? And indeed, it's been rejected by the board. Now, well, if I could delve into the article in a bit more detail, you can see that the proposal presented by MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor called for Microsoft to indeed diversify its portfolio by allocating a portion of its reserves to Bitcoin. Saylor argues that Bitcoin, which is now the seventh largest global asset, is poised for explosive growth, with its market capitalization projected to surpass the $2 trillion in the near future and potentially reach over $200 trillion by 2045. In his presentation, he emphasized Bitcoin's potential as a transformative investment opportunity, aligning with major market trends. Now, what was the board's response to this? Well, the board ultimately described Bitcoin investments as unnecessary risks that do not align with the company's strategy. Finally, Saylor went on to say, as a response to that Microsoft shareholders will regret this decision in time. Bitcoin doesn't wait, it simply rewards those who understand its value. He remains convinced that Bitcoin will continue to redistribute wealth globally as more investors recognize its significance. And then one final note, which I find it interesting, Amazon appears to be taking a different stance on cryptocurrency. Stakeholders at the company propose an ambitious plan to invest a substantial portion of its cash reserves in Bitcoin, signaling a contrasting approach to digital asset adoption among major tech giants. Now, this move highlights the varied strategies corporations are employing when it comes to cryptocurrency investments. Now, this is very, very interesting, and it really comes to show that the companies, especially the Mag 7, the tech giants in the S&P, there are some discrepancies between what one think is a good idea about adding Bitcoin into its corporate reserves versus another who takes an entirely different approach and finds it indeed positive, right? They only have to take heed with what MicroStrategy has achieved over the 4 years where they started off with this journey, and the other 100 public registered companies who've actually followed suit, right? So this is really, as I said before, this is a lost opportunity for Microsoft shareholders. And what would I think would be the immediate aftermath of this? Certainly into the short to medium term, there's going to be capital outflows from shareholders of these type of companies who think that Bitcoin, it doesn't have a place in the financial system. It certainly has demonstrated that there is a place for Bitcoin in the global financial system, and they're making it a grave mistake to think otherwise. So there will be that moment where shareholders come to a point where they think that they don't represent the interests of its shareholders, which is the entirely wrong approach to think about Bitcoin, because it's actually from the ground up in the sense that Bitcoin has been born from the people rather than from the elite in terms of the other assets history. So this is a lost opportunity, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if Microsoft shareholders, or at least a proportionate amount of them, decide to relinquish its shares in the company and move its capital outflow from the company into other more pro-Bitcoin, more pro-crypto companies who've decided to take a different approach to Microsoft at the moment, and to at least invest Bitcoin into its corporate treasury reserve, in line with a growing number of publicly listed companies who have already done the same thing as what MicroStrategy have done. And like I said, there's 100 companies, because at the end of the day, these are publicly listed companies who have had to make public disclosures in its annual reporting to the regulators. So this is all completely open and transparent information that you can indeed cooperate and check for yourselves. But this is a lost opportunity, and I think at some point Microsoft will have to change its direction into one of U-turn. I think this is something that they will ultimately end up having to do, because, as I said, the risk of not changing their direction would be indeed the capital outflows of its shareholders out of the company, and rightly so, into other companies or indeed directly banking their assets or shares from Microsoft into investing in Bitcoin directly, whether it's through other companies who think more pro Bitcoin, more pro cryptocurrency stance, or through the ETFs, which are widely open, or indeed if it's retail high net worth individuals, you always have the option to invest directly on the Bitcoin network itself, right, through the hardware wallets or through the registered crypto exchanges like crypto.com or Coinbase and so on. And if I were to show you the impact of what's happened yesterday, you can see, yeah, there's been some volatility, but ever since yesterday, you can see there's been an upward recovery of the price of Bitcoin, which is hovering, as I said, just over $98,000. This is December 11th as we speak. So it's a shame. It's a lost opportunity for Microsoft. And you can see the ripple effect of this will be other companies starting to get their heads in order. And hopefully there'll be some other major tech giants, similar to Amazon, who are starting to take an entirely different approach from what Microsoft has decided yesterday in its board meeting when they reviewed a proposal to add Bitcoin in its corporate treasury reserve from Michael Saylor himself. So hopefully you found this episode interesting. If you have, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel, as I regularly post some interesting podcasts to anything to do with Bitcoin, blockchain technology, and indeed the future of finance. So until next time.